What's up, Amazon sellers? There are many options out there that can help you grow your Amazon business. Two of them are using a credit card or an Amazon loan. But the question is, which one is more profitable to use? And if you want to know the answer to that, then stay tuned. I'm going to share all with you in this video today. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson. I've been selling on Amazon now for 4 years doing the online arbitrage business model. Now in the UK, I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller, check that out. And then in the USA, I'm a 6-figure Amazon seller, check that out. Now hopefully in the near future, we're going to start in a third marketplace. And if you want to learn how I'm doing it, what I'm learning, and also what I'm sharing along my journey, then make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Okay, so first things first, why am I actually talking about this? Well, look, I've been selling on Amazon now for 4 years, and last year, just in the UK alone, we did 2.2 million in sales. Growing an Amazon business is hard, and reaching that 2.2 million in sales, I've used multiple credit cards and multiple Amazon loans if you've been following my journey. Now, if you're asking me why have I chosen, should we say, credit cards and Amazon loans to grow my business? Well, it's because quite simply, they can increase my the amount of cash or cash liquidity within my business, which I can then convert into stock, and stock makes sales, and sales equal profits. Now, as you can see from, should we say, my strategy of growth on Amazon, if you've been following my journey, my plan has been to increase capital, cash, convert that into stock, and then obviously sell that as quickly as possible, obviously to generate the profits. Now, fundamentally, the more products that I buy, the more sales that I make, and obviously the more profits I make from that. Now, using credit cards and Amazon loans has helped me to buy, if you say, more stock, and I can easily say that that has been instrumental in my ability to reach that £2.2 million in sales last year in just the last 12 months in 2021, and it's definitely not been easy. Now, here comes a question for you. With my experience of using credit cards and Amazon loans to grow my Amazon business, which one do I think is more profitable and maybe, hey, the better option to think about? So let's proceed to answering that question now. Okay, so quick question for you guys. Today I'm talking about Amazon loans, I'm talking about credit cards. I want to know which one you're thinking is the best option if you're going to grow your business. Let me know in the comments down below, Amazon loan or credit card. Just write me down in the options below, the comments below, sorry. Okay, so this leads me nicely on to my second chapter, which is which one is more profitable to use. Okay, so before we answer this question, which one is more profitable to use, let me give you a quick kind of background on what a credit card is and what the Amazon loan is. So first things first, credit cards. Now, credit cards are basically usually like the small plastic cards. I have like the Amex, Capital on Tap, and they're issued by your bank that allow, you to purchase goods or services using credit. Now, in my Amazon business, we have different types of credit card. We've got, the Amex Express, or the Amex Gold card. We've now got the Amex Platinum card, and also as well, we've got the Capital on Tap credit card. Now, since credit cards allow you to buy items using credit, it can help you increase, your stock purchases. Now, why? Because quite simply, you're using other people's money, i.e. credit, for a certain period of time to buy them, and then you repay that later. Now, in addition to, using credit cards, you can also earn cash back and points, which I absolutely love. And if you want to know more about credit cards, which ones I have, which ones I'm using, and why, then what I'll do is I'll leave an ultimate guide to how to use credit cards up there. And obviously, that's going to help you understand what I'm using, why I'm using, and how I manage that money. So check that out. Now, the other side is the Amazon loans. Now, Amazon lending is a program whereby it enables sellers to accelerate their growth by providing them with business loans. Amazon are lending you money to help you grow your Amazon business. Now, in my Amazon business, I've used an Amazon loan to purchase more stock. Back in Q4 2021, I used an Amazon loan to increase my purchases, and I managed to make £1 million in sales in just 1 quarter, which is incredible. Now, look, basically, I started my Amazon loan journey when they offered me initially $121,000. We then, refinanced it and took out $130,000. We got the difference, and then in November 2021, they refinanced again to, I think it was about $152,000. And recently, they've even offered me another $151,000, which is incredible. Now, it's not saying they're all adding up. We have to pay off the old loan when we get the new one. So you're getting the difference, if that makes sense. And a lot of the time, the difference is just 1 or 2 monthly payments. Now, using using a loan can be, really critical or crucial, should we say, for growing your business, because it gives you the money that you need to spend to buy more stock, to make more sales, to make more profit. And obviously the profit you're making is then used to pay the loan monthly, and you keep a bit extra yourself. And for me, that has been incredible to help me grow my business and hit that 1 million in Q4 last year alone. Now, top tip for you, if you are thinking about using an Amazon loan, make sure you don't let the money sleep in the bank or just sit there. My advice is always to make sure you're using that money. Why? Because you're paying money to have it, i.e. interest. You've got to be turning that money to make profit, to pay the interest, and then obviously profit from that. Now, if you want to know more, should we say, all about my journeys of using my Amazon business loan to scale up, whilst using that loan, what I'll do is I'll drop a playlist up here about Amazon loans, what I've done, and you can see that journey. Like every time I've had a loan, I've talked about it and what I've done and some top tips and tricks. So now to come through and answer the actual question you're really asking, which one is more profitable to use between the Amazon loan and the credit card? Based on my experience, the answer isn't simple. It's both. It's basically on a case-by-case basis, and I'll try and define why you might want to look at one rather than the other. And it depends really on your business strategy. Now, for me, as long as I can, should we say, increase my stock capital, that stock I've got, and maintain paying off my credit cards and my loan from Amazon, both of them are super good to use. Now, there are going to be cases when a credit card is going to be better to use than an Amazon loan, but also as well, there's going to be cases when an Amazon loan is better to use than a credit card. And let me share some of my thoughts now with you in which one's going to be better. So first of all, let's have a look at when a credit card might be better than an Amazon loan and go through that. A credit card, the interest rate is the price you pay for borrowing money, obviously when you pay it back on the credit card or hold it on the credit card. Now that interest rate is typically a yearly rate, and it can be pretty high, the APR, a lot of them about 20 to 30%. Now, if you, should we say, hold it on the credit card, you can incur paying that. But a lot of new credit cards, they allow you to do two things. Number one, introductory rates. They can be 0% APR, especially if you're like a sole trader doing it on a personal name. 0% APR can be massive. You're paying no interest over the course of the year. Now, the other one is the case even with us, where we're using even other credit cards, is the case that if you're paying it off before the end of the month, i.e. holding it for 25 days, then effectively you're not paying any interest because you're not holding credit over the period. You're just using it to cycle for 25 days. Now that definitely works great because you're not actually paying any cost of goods, or you're not paying any cost of interest for the money that you're using in that credit card. Now, generally people are going to be using credit cards first to scale their Amazon business. Loans generally come after year one, but credit cards are quite simple to come by personally within a few months of just starting your business, because we take that on our personal name. Now, in my experience, I've used credit cards to scale my Amazon business. Even today, I'm still using credit cards, but they're business ones rather than personal. Now, credit cards are super effective for beginner sellers, and in June 2021, I started my Amazon USA business, and right now I'm in the process of trying to get credit cards in the US to help me scale my Amazon business. Now, what I will say is always remember that credit cards are debt, so you need to be able to manage this effectively and manage your cash flow. And if you want to know more about, should we say, cash flow and how I manage cash flow to pay my credit cards, make sure I pay my bills, what I will do is I'll leave a video up here called How I Manage My Cash Flow, and I have a great Excel spreadsheet on that, which I use every week, which really helps me out. Now, one of the other things that I really do love about credit cards is the points, and I've managed to travel. I've even enjoyed a first-class return flight from Mexico to Europe using the points on my credit cards. Now, credit cards are great, but also as well, there is a bit of a downside whereby if you're doing business models like wholesalers generally don't accept credit cards, so you can't really take advantage. Now, the one thing which I will say is stay tuned to the end of this video. Why? Because I'm going to share a top strategy with you whereby you can use your credit card to make payments with wholesalers in a little trick that I figured out is going to help you out. So stay tuned. I'll share that at the end. Let's look at the other side now. We've talked about credit cards. Let's look at when Amazon loans are better than a credit card. Now, there are going to be times when you're going to run out of, should you say, credit, space in your credit card. And with this, Amazon loans are going to generally be a good idea to use. Now, if you're seeing you can still, should you say, increase the amount of stock you can be purchasing by using credit, but you've already used up your credit cards, then loans can be an amazing tool to help just throw more cash into your business, helping you buy more stock, to make more sales, to make more profit, pay off the debt on the loan, and obviously make profit as well. Now in my Amazon business, I've got an Amazon loan amounting to £250,000, and generally I use this amount to increase the amount of stock purchases we can do, especially during that Q4 period last year. That Amazon loan payment was instrumental to achieving £1 million in sales. Now the thing to think about, Amazon loan payments are automatically deducted from your seller central account before you disburse. So this is following the due date of the loan payment. So if you make a disbursement, should we say, and there isn't enough money in there to cover the loan payment, then Amazon won't let you deduct any money. And obviously the next one, you're going to have to obviously make up the difference. You can't take any money out until the loan payment is done. Now, what I will say is always remember that it's important to know how you're going to invest or spend your credit card or Amazon loan. And by knowing how you're going to spend it, or will give you a clear picture of what the expected income is going to be and what you're going to need to pay your debts. Now, what I'll say is don't forget to think about, should we say, outgoings as well. This isn't just about selling and buying stock, making revenue, making profit. Also, you've got costs involved in that. And for us, scaling to that £252,000 loan, we still had to hire more VAs, we had to hire prep center costs, more tools we had to pay for, and they were costs that were eating into that profit we generated. Don't forget about things like your VAs, tools, prep centers, and how those resources are going to scale up with your business as you take on the new cash. Now, the one thing which I will say is if you do take a loan or a credit card and that money just sits in your bank or doesn't get used, then at the end of the day, what you're going to do is probably going to be paying a debt, or paying the interest on it, and actually it's going to end up costing you because you're not going to be making any more money from it, and the net result is obviously you're going to be losing money. So just be mindful that while loans can be amazing, you've still got to be able to spend it, invest it, and get the sales from it to be able to reap the rewards. Something super important there. So what I want to quickly just do now is summarize. So let's put it this way. Credit cards or Amazon loans, what are my personal thoughts? Well, look, if you're starting out, credit cards all the way. Get the 0% APR. They are really amazing deals, and I love the cashback points. Now with us in our business, what do? We basically use, say for example, we're kind of cycling money through the Amazon system. Credit cards just allow us to cycle a little bit more money, and while we're doing that, we're also getting the protection of the credit card, and we're getting promotional rewards and cashback points as well. I love that. I think that's the first step. Now, as you're cycling that money, what you're going to find is that every week you're running out of money because you don't have enough cash in the business to keep buying all those amazing deals that you're finding. So what does that mean? Well, that means go get your Amazon loan and then put more money into that system and keep churning it. But I do think fundamentally you should probably be doing credit cards first for an arbitrage business or retail arbitrage because of the protection and the points, and then do your Amazon loan second. And generally that's what happens. Okay, so today we're talking about Amazon loans, credit cards, and the one thing which I'll probably say is both of these are ways of increasing the amount of cash within your business. Now, generally, when you increase the amount of cash in your business, what do you got to do? Well, you got to use that cash to buy products, to resell them, to make sales, profit, and obviously pay the debt of the loan, and obviously make more profit for yourself. Now, the one thing which I'll say is if you are thinking about getting a credit card or a loan and you're like, hey, how do I find enough deals? Or maybe you run out of deals to buy after spending all the deals that you found, what I'd say is have a look at FastTrackFBA leads. This is a service I created whereby we find all the deals across the USA and the UK. I've got a team of sourcers working 7 days a week. Every single deal that we find, we put onto our online web platform. You come in, you buy tokens, and then you review every single deal. Once you found a deal that you like that meets your criteria, what do? You exchange the tokens, the deal, you unlock the supplier URL and the Amazon ASIN, you buy low from the supplier, resell high on Amazon for a profit, pay off that credit card debt, and then obviously take the money home and ride into the sunset. It's as simple as that. I absolutely love it, but check out FastTrackFBA leads. I'll drop a link down below. Trust me, I think you're gonna love it. Okay, so this leads me on to my third chapter, some top tips for you about using credit cards and Amazon loans. So first top tip for you, if you're using a credit card, what I'd really recommend is paying it off every week. While you can use the automatic payment to pay it off monthly, we use a credit card called Capital on Tap. I'll drop a link down below. You can get some free money with that as well using my special link. But if you pay it off monthly or weekly, should we say, what they do, Amazon, or should we say Capital on Tap, detect that you're running a lot more cash through, i.e. 4 times the limit. Now ours is 50,000, we run through 50,000 a week. The net result is they increase your limit or credit limit every single month, which is incredible. Now also as well, by cycling that, we can get lots of points. It's amazing, and also we're increasing the credit limit. So I like that. Now one thing which I'd say to you is just make sure that you are actually able to pay off the debt on the credit cards. Why? high because the interest charge is pretty high, 20 to 30% per year. That does add up if you're holding a lot of cash on it, just be aware. Now, my second top tip is credit cards have their rewards, through earning points, and try to look and explore, which rewards you can get from using different credit cards. In my case, what do? Well, I basically had a first-class return flight by using my Capital on Tap credit card with the Avios points. Again, the link's down below. That was a first-class return ticket, nearly about £10,000. I got it for 642, free flight plus taxes. Also as well, I've managed to get lots and lots of points using my my Amex Platinum card. And again, I'll drop a link down below. You can get lots of points and I have lots of holidays with that as well. And if you want to know more about, my first class flight and how it happened, what I'll do is I'll leave a link up there. Check that out. I think you're going to love it. Now, the third thing I'll share with you, and I talked about this earlier, is about wholesalers. Now, if you have a supplier, which is a wholesaler, obviously they don't really accept credit cards. Now, what an interesting thing you can do, and especially if you're starting out, maybe you've got like a 0% APR credit card, there is something you can do which might work. And I've done this before in my business. So first things first, what you want to do is you want to create a Stripe account for your business. Now, this is a payment portal that allows your business to take money. Now, what you do is you then, once you've got that Stripe account linked up to your bank account, what you do is you use your personal credit card and you create an invoice for the balance. Let's say, for example, my personal credit card has a £5,000 limit. I'm going to create a Stripe payment for £5,000 and I'm going to pay it off using my credit card. Now, what's interesting is Stripe is going to take about a 3% transaction fee. But what I've done now is I've transferred that £5,000 from Stripe, or should I say from my credit card, now through Stripe into my bank account. Now, once it's in my bank account, I can now use that money to pay off, or should we say pay, the wholesaler, which is great. But also as well, I probably get the £5,000 worth of reward points, or if they have them at all. But generally, we're not too worried about that. What we're really interested in is the 0% APR. So we can hold that £5,000 cash amount on the credit card for maybe a year at 0% APR, whilst we've put the money into cash into our business and cycling it through the wholesaler and Amazon and keep repeating, obviously making sure that we get profitability on that product. Quite simply, take the credit card, pay the money into your business bank account using Stripe. That's it, easy peasy. Just make sure you classify it as a director's loan in your bank account because you are loaning money from your personal, i.e. your credit card, into the bank. That's it. And I'm assuming you're doing that. Speak to an accountant. I'm not a tax professional. Now, the fourth one I recommend for you in Amazon loans, the interest rate, for us has been about 10.99% per year. So be sure to include, like when you're actually doing your planning of how much, you're going to have to make per month. Well, 10.99, call that 12%. We're going to have to, incur a 1% fee per month on the money. So we've got to make sure we're making more profit than that, obviously to make it worthwhile. If we're not making that, it's just not worth taking the loan. Factor that in. Now, what I will say is, Amazon loans and credit cards are both debts, and it's important to, strategize on paying them and to, make sure you're managing your cash flow effectively. What I want to do, again, I want to leave a video around here about how I manage my cash flow, and it's got a cash flow management sheet you can download from that. Trust me, it's a game changer. We use it all the time and it really helps my business. Check out that video. Now, hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, give me a big thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button down below. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.